The shadow of the new Praetorian. Welcome back to the Laughing Ogres channel. I'm so glad you could join me. To all my subscribers, I'm going to do some videos, of course, with me on it, but when I've got some little news like this to cover, it's easy for me to just whip out the mic and bust some of this out for you. So sit back and enjoy, and let's see how these two stories tie in. The stories are those of Alex Botten, a fellow YouTuber that has some strange opinions on when you should use violence against somebody that has ideas that don't coincide with yours, and also this lady that was at the DC Women's March. Her name is Donna Hylton, and Hylton spelled H-Y-L-T-O-N. And we're going to see how these two stories tie in, because let me just say off the bat, my hypothesis is that if you tell any group of people that they're marginalized or their religion is special, more special than yours, and that they should be able to impose their thoughts, beliefs, dogmas on someone else, on you, the minute you do that, or tell them that they're downtrodden, you're imbuing them with power, and you know, you're putting yourself in a position where you have to be the evil bad, and they have to be the downtrodden and good. But we're going to take a look into the mind of madness today, starting with Alex Botten, and then moving on to this Donna Hylton, and we're going to see how these two things go together. At first glance, you might not see how, but we're going to put them together, and we're just going to get this going. So let's mix this batter up and get this cake in the oven. Start baking it right away.
Yesterday, I posted a link to an article by the writer Warren Ellis, not to be confused with the violin player from Fidelity 3, where he answered the question, is it ever alright to punch a Nazi, with yes, it is alright to punch a Nazi. And he made the argument that by becoming a Nazi, you give up your right to not be punched. And whilst I am no fan of violence against other people, I think I'm behind him on this one. When you decide to adopt the ideology of a group that murdered millions of people and is all about ethnic cleansing and racial purity, when you really adopt that ideology, you kind of give up all rights to not get punched by people who may want to punch you. And some people say, oh no, Alex, you can't say that.
I'm not going to tell you not to say that, because it's excellent fodder for me, sir. What I'm going to tell you is, if you can punch a Nazi in the face because someone else killed a bunch of people many years ago, well then I can punch a commie in the face because of Mao. I can punch a commie in the face because of Che Guevara and Fidel Castro shooting the Negros. Give me a break, dude. Grow up, man. You are a fool for such a wise-looking elderly gentleman. Grow up.
That, you know, you're saying you shouldn't be punching Muslims in the face. Well, what I'm actually saying is that not all Muslims, not all minority groups are people who are extremists. So, not all Muslims are extremists. Not all Catholics or Protestants in Northern Ireland are terrorists.
Well, for one, sir, where are they minority groups? What minority groups? Muslims? They're a huge majority on this planet. Wake up and smell the caliphate, dude. You are a fool. You're making excuses for people that will kill you, that would murder you, because unless you're Islam. Are you Islamic? Do you pray 5 times a day, wash your feet, hands, and all that good stuff, and assalamu alaikum, you know, to the whichever, toward Mecca, you know, on your blanket? Do you do that, dude? I doubt it. So if you don't, these people want to murder you. You are making excuses for people that would murder you. Remember what, this is such an excellent little mnemonic. Hearken, friends, when freedom fails, the best men rot in filthy jails, and those that cry to appease are hung by those they tried to please. this man would find himself dangling at the end of the rope, and to compare them with the IRA, where are they at? Who are they blowing up now, dude? You're crazy. You always got to reach way back.
But all Nazis are Nazis. Do you see the difference? It's quite funny that the same people who are getting all bent out of shape about this are absolutely fine with the idea of seeing Muslims beaten or killed and kicked out of their countries. It's amazing how people become fucking Gandhi or Mother Teresa when it's a Nazi getting hit. I'd say check yourself if that's what you're thinking.
I usually just wouldn't pull out the Jew card here, but dude, listen, a Nazi's a Nazi, and so is a Muslim a Muslim. I don't like to watch anybody be killed. I just seen a video shared by the same woman that shared this with me, Amanda, and it was so horrible. They just shot this woman down, and it was Muslims, and it was probably in, I can't remember where it was, Jordan or Damascus or something like that, but it's horrific. And for you to compare these things, these people are actively just horrible, insane monsters, and the folks go along with it. I mean, it's the connivance of the populace of the religious Muslims. They want a caliphate. They want Sharia law. They want there to be a blending of church and state. Is that what you want? I don't think you would say that is what you want. And if you would say that, it's because you are a fool. Well, you're a fool anyway. And I'm done with this guy. He's a moron. But perhaps a useful moron, depending upon how you look at it, which side of the fence you're on, how you're looking at it. Because of this lady, Donna Hylton, he has made every excuse possible for her. I guess she is in some places in the world, she's in the minority. So because she's in the minority, she is allowed to do horrible things and then come back and act like a victim. First, let's see how this newscaster introduces her and what she has to say about this lady.
Well, Donna Hylton is a member of the Coalition for Women Prisoners. She spoke at the Women's March in Washington today. Welcome to our broadcast.
Because that's all this news anchor on this, I don't know if it's fake news or what it is, the World Today has to say about Mrs. Hylton. I'm going to go ahead and read this to you. Hylton, along with 3 men and 3 other women, kidnapped 62-year-old real estate broker Thomas Vigiero and held him for ransom before eventually killing him. As noted in a 1995 Psychology Today article, when asked about forcibly sodomizing the victim with a 3-foot steel pole, one of Hylton's accomplices replied, he was a homo anyway. Now this is speaking about Hylton. New York City detective William Sperling told Psychology Today, and this is a quote, I couldn't believe this girl who was so intelligent and nice looking could be so unemotional about what she was telling me she and her friends had done. They squeezed the victim's testicles with a pair of pliers, beat him and burnt him, end quote. According to the same article, Hylton delivered a ransom note to a friend of Vigiero's asking for more than $400,000, even though the victim was already dead by that point. A 1985 article in the New York Times, which misspelled Donna's last name as Hylton, H-I-L-T-O-N, put the ransom demand at $435,000. Her participation in the murder, according to Psychology Today, Hylton was sentenced to 25 years in prison. I guess this qualifies her as a victim? You got to be kidding me. I'm going to let her speak for a little bit, and we'll come back together with our minds, and we'll see if maybe this useful to her moron, Alex Botten, has given way to a horrific, a sociopath, a true sociopath, what they consider, they call Trump and Hillary, and I don't know if either one of them are sociopaths, but this lady is.
Thank you for having me.
Donna, why did you come out today? What moved you about this march?
Well, first of all, what moved me first is that I'm a woman. And because I was a woman that spent 27 years in prison.
It already starts out a little fishy to me, because in this article it says she got 25 years in prison, sentenced to 25 years. So no good time, and she actually did 2 more years? That leads me to believe that she may have been a problem while she was in prison. And I'm not saying it would be easy to be a good person in prison, but my goodness, where does it end with this Mrs. Hylton?
And we are the most marginalized of this demographic, right? We continue to be silenced, we continue to be negated, we continue to be vilified and dehumanized.
There will be a link in the description to this article, and you can read for yourself. She's talking about being dehumanized. They raped this man with a 3-foot-long steel pole and murdered him. She's talking about being silenced. They murdered him.
And so it was my purpose today to stand up and to bring us into this moment to say, we're here and we're relevant, and you must hear our stories.
They're not telling your story. You're hiding. Your story is not out there. You murdered this person. You held them you delivered the ransom note. You know, Mrs. Hylton, you are a terrible human being for pretending to be a victim when you victimize somebody in such a horrible way. Start that way and talk about your repentance. Do you feel like you've done your time and that was enough? That is a lot of time, but shouldn't you be repentant? Shouldn't you say you're sorry and explain it?
So was this about President Trump, or was this about women's rights in general? I mean,
so I want to be clear, and I think I was trying to make that statement earlier, and I've been saying this all day, that we have always been in this moment. We have always had this problem. It's not about a Trump. It's not about any one male person. It has been a mindset, a mentality, and a behavior that's been perpetrated forever against women. And so what has happened is that he has allowed people to see, oh my God, this is happening. It's always happened. And if you're a black and brown woman, we know it's been happening.
Well, what else is happening is, if you want to watch any more of this nonsense from this woman, you're going to have to go ahead and get on the link and go watch it for yourself, because I'm not giving her any more airtime. This person, please understand the connection. You have Alex Botten making excuses for Donna Hylton, who doesn't need what excuse is there? There are apparently 6 of them, let's see, along with 3 men and 3 other women, so there was 7 of them with a 62-year-old real estate broker. And I mean, I've already said throughout the video, but they sodomized him with a steel pole 3 feet long. They murdered him. They squeezed his testicles with pliers. They beat him and they burnt him. When this lady right here, this lady that's marginalized and has her voice taken from her, and is so used to black and brown people being downtrodden, I don't know, I'm assuming by his last name, and I should have looked it up, but I don't want to look at it in a term of race, but she is making it about race now. What color was this person? Was he white? Is that how you justify it? How do you squeeze somebody's genitals with a pair of pliers? You're a sick and twisted person. They should never have let you speak anywhere near anything that has to do with civil rights, anything, unless you come out with this story and tell us of redemption and how you found it. But all I see is the unreal narrative that's been handed to you on a silver plate. Not by me, though. I have to also give a shout out to Atheism is Unstoppable. I watched a video of his leading up to this, and I have to say I'm in complete agreement. I concur 100% with the gentleman, and I am not an atheist. I also want to say, as far as I am Jewish. The Nazis, you can't punch them in the face. Talibans, no, you can't punch them in the face. You can't torture them. Not if you want to have any kind of moral high ground or be able to have a leg to stand on. You can't punch anybody in the face. Violence is not the answer. If we revert to that, then we're Taliban. We're no better than anyone else. If you're going to put somebody in a forced stress position and turn the heat up to 95 degrees and blare Metallica as loud as speakers will go for 48 hours, and then turn the temperature down to 50 degrees, put them in a different stress position, and blare the candle box full blare for another 48 hours. I mean, this is the kind of thing they do to these people. We can't justify hurting someone for any reason. And I don't want to see this lady here talking about how, oh, well, it's not Trump. At least she said that, but then she turned around and said, well, it is, because, these people, white people, I reckon, have been marginalizing. Listen, as somebody that has all of my family, except for my mother's father, is Jewish, I can say that, whatever. I get talked about and stuff, but who cares? Let me tell you a little joke. What's the difference between a Jew and a pizza? The pizza don't bitch when you push it in the oven. Ha 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 ha. I just told you a Jew joke. Go and laugh. Make it, it's fun. It's funny. Makes it fun. And have fun with life. Don't look for victim status. Don't become a victim. And don't listen to this nonsense. Don't make excuses for other people. And don't latch on to those excuses if you're a vile monster. And remember, be good to your family. Be good to your friends. Be good to your loved ones. Be quick to say you're sorry. Be even quicker to accept an apology. Especially if that thing that your friend, family member, or loved one has done seems to be so huge. Because in a moment you think not, your friend, your family, your life and your cause will depart from you. Hey, take some time and subscribe and leave a comment. And share this with somebody. It'll help you.